It's Mac the Guru. This is my review for Industry Season 2, Episode 5. If this your first time here, make sure you check out the other content. If you like the content, if you like this content, subscribe to the channel. And everybody click that like button. I appreciate it. Now, this episode was great and it took us through a lot of emotions. Emotions with Yasmin and her father. Emotions with Harper and her brother. Emotions with Robert and his father. But I'm going to start with business. And I'm going to start with Danny. And I'm starting with him because he is in a new position now where people will be reporting to him. Eric has moved up. And he's about to see how difficult that is. How combative people will be. You see, Reese was already being kind of combative. And then how difficult it is to manage people's personalities. Harper switched it up on him at the end. You know, we're going to get to that. But it's very difficult to managing people's personalities. People change from day to day. They one day they feeling good. One day they going through things. They not talking as much. They're not focused on work because they going through things. And you have to basically manage their personality, their life, their morale. You got to keep it high as possible, you know. And sometimes people go through things where they just not going to be focused. So he's about to experience that. Now, let's get into Yasmin and her father. Because that's the first thing that I see, besides Harper and Danny getting it in and then Reese coming, right? The first thing I see in this episode was Yasmin and her father. Seemed like they was back good. Some interesting information came out during a conversation. She did mention him kissing her when she was younger and he had beer on his breath. I know in the comments on the previous episode, me and one of the people that was commenting, we was talking about Yasmin going through something in her childhood that they haven't revealed yet. I think that little conversation that her and her father had revealed some interesting things. So we got to really watch on that and see what's going to come out about her past. And we see once they get to Berlin, this trip to Berlin was never about business for nobody, seemed like, right? And they get there, and Yasmin is wondering about her father. She goes digging, and it seems like to me, she found out she has a younger sister. You know, hey, Papa was a Rolling Stone, and she's figuring that out, and her dad is most likely paying a lot of money. So she's trying to figure out where the money is going to. So it's a couple things. From an emotional standpoint, okay, dad stepped out, had a child. And then also from the standpoint of where's all our money going? She's trying to figure these things out. So that's what she's dealing with. Then you got Harper and her brother. Oh, man. This one was just sad. The two scenes that really caught me was when Yas found out about her younger sister, right? And that's what I think they was giving off because the girl she was talking to said, yeah, my daughter's in the room. And she's like, yo, how old is your daughter? When was this? You know, and I think it's her father and the girl had a baby. That's what I was thinking. But then with Harper, at the end, that last conversation with her brother, and you see her brother was shying away from the conversation. But it's a conversation that needed to be had. And I like that Yas and Harper was about to leave the restaurant. And Harper just said, you know what? Let me check the back. And she checks the back, sees her brother. They go out, end up going to a club, doing drugs. He was sober for 6 months before she came. So this is something that he's been struggling with and you see she's struggling with it too. And it's her twin brother. And I never knew she had a twin brother. I didn't know that it was a twin, but they said that during a dialogue. And it ended with him saying she's incapable of loving anybody. So they still got some issues. He didn't come back with her. Hopefully, he's able to get himself together. And what I think is going to happen is whatever Harper go through, one day her brother's going to pop back up. Hopefully they can keep the same character that's playing her brother. But he comes and pops back up and forgives her for everything. And that's what I hope happened. And that's what should happen. A lot of people do this where they hold on to things that happened in their childhood. And I know some super traumatic stuff can happen to people. So I'm sensitive to that. But if you don't fall in that category where something super traumatic happened to you, and it's just things that you felt like was done wrong, and it was a little hard on you, mentally challenging too, you got to forgive people and take control of your life. And it seemed like with every character in this episode, from Yasmin to Harper to Robert, they are struggling with this. And it's a hard thing to do, but you got to do it for your life. Not for their life, but for you. For you to be productive and successful and in a good space mentally. Because Harper is productive and successful, but is she in a good space mentally? Is Robert in a good space mentally? Is Yas in a good space mentally? So you gotta forgive that and don't hold on to that. The good thing is all of them are successful. Some people hold on to it and it makes them unsuccessful too. That's when it's really sad, because you hold on to stuff when you're younger, you unsuccessful, and you still mentally worried about the stuff in the past, so you can never move forward and never become successful. But it does seem like this interaction with Harper and her brother has damaged her relationship with Danny, unless she comes out and tell him. If she don't come out and tell him, their relationship will be damaged. Now, I did like Yasmin and Harper's relationship, how, they was going at it, and now they back good. They kind of went at it a little bit at the end, but they back good. And they understand each other. And this is one reason why never take sides when two people are going at it with each other and they have their own friendship. Because remember Harper and Yas, they've been going at it most of the season. Now they talking and laughing and cool. If you would have been in that situation as a person and you go, okay, I'm going to take Yas side, I'm going to take Harper side, when they get back cool, the other person will still be mad at you. So just step back. But I like to see them back cool and talking. Now, Robert wasn't answering the cold call. I mean, none of them was answering their client's call. And even Yas and Harper at the end, when they was in that room with Jackie, they was just totally out of it. But Robert ended up doing coke himself, right? Going to see his father. Father got other kids. Father like, yeah, them your little brothers upstairs, and that was hard on him. He bust his head wide open, and he ended up signing the girl, Daphne, or getting her to sign with the company. But it seemed like he was like rough on the girl Vanita. Seemed like he was rough on her at the dinner. But I think she understood when they was like at the church, because you could see him, his head still bleeding and still like, oh, he's definitely going through something. And I want to see how their relationship develops. So they bringing in a new girl. We know that Daphne, she's going to come. And then Vanita, they gave us a little bit of her this episode, and they slowly working her in. But I think she'll be good for Robert, just from what I done seen so far. Ain't no telling what her issues is. But I knew they was gonna work her in, and I think she'd be good for somebody, either Robert, or even Danny. Because I don't think Danny and Harper gonna work right now. But now that all of them has went through this emotional storm, I bet the next few episodes coming up, they all gonna be really, really focused on their work. See, when people go through big emotional stuff, they go, all right, enough with all this, time to focus on work. So you're gonna see them all hone in on their job and try to come up. Now, I also like the interaction between Eric and Harper. It's like, yo, he gave her a little slack, but he still granted her with her wishes. And he probably knew about her brother in Berlin and all this stuff too. So he granted her with her wishes, But all in all, this episode was great to me. They've been doing a great job this season. Let me know what you thought about this episode, the scenes that you thought was good, what characters you liked the most, and how they dealt with each situation, because there was a lot of situations going on. It's Mac the Guru. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that like button, and like always, be easy, be safe. Peace.